Hello, welcome to the Mythology Manifest. This is my first video on Norse mythology, and I've had quite a lot of fun researching the Norse myths, as I don't know as much about them as I do Greek and Roman mythology. This video is going to be on a creature from Norse mythology that I found particularly interesting when researching, but also that I knew a little about before. That is the great wolf Fenrir. I hope you enjoy it. So, Fenrir was a monstrous wolf from Norse mythology, and was sometimes known by other names such as Vanagard, Hruvutnir, Vangander, and Fenrisulfur. But I'm going to stick with Fenrir because, one, he is best known by that name, and two, the others are a little difficult to say correctly. Fenrir was the son of the god of tricksters, Loki, and the giantess whose name was Angaboda. When he was born, the Norse gods feared Fenrir's strength, and believed that only evil could be expected from him because he was a giant wolf with spear-like teeth and glowing red eyes. Sounds a little like character assassination to me. Because the gods were so scared of him, they bound him with a magical chain made of the sounds of cats' footsteps, the beard of a woman, the breath of fish, and a few other elements and ingredients used by the occult. It was the God of War Tyr who went to put the chain on the great wolf, and when the chain was placed upon him, Fenrir bit off the hand of Tyr, which I think is understandable. He was being chained up just because the gods were scared of him, and he had done nothing to make them scared of him. It was because of how he looked. Fenrir was then gagged with a sword and was cursed to lie bound to a rock until the Ragnarok, or as we would know it, Doomsday. It was prophesied that when Ragnarok came, Fenrir would break his bonds and fall upon the gods. According to one version of the myth, Fenrir was going to devour the sun, and in the Ragnarok he would fight against the king of the gods, Odin, and during the fight, Fenrir would eat him. It was then said that Odin's son, Vidar, the Norse god of vengeance, would avenge his father by stabbing Fenrir in the heart, and according to another account, tearing out his jaw. Fenrir figures prominently in the Norwegian and Icelandic poetry from the 10th and 11th centuries, and the poets speak incredibly apprehensively of the day when he will break loose. Now, if I've got this right, these prophecies were written after Fenrir had been trapped under a rock for years and been treated like a monster. It seems to me that it was not Fenrir's fault that he was villainised. He was treated like a monster from birth, even though he did nothing to cause this assumption. Then he was brutally trapped and chained up, and then for the rest of his life he was told that one day he was going to rise up, kill the king of the gods, and eat the sun. It seems to me that Fenrir was brainwashed into becoming the bad guy, or bad wolf. Maybe this is where the term the big bad wolf comes from. It was not a choice, it was a forced role. And I think that maybe if they had played fetch with him, using a massive ball, or rubbed his giant wolf belly once in a while, he might not have ended up being so monstrous. But instead he might have become a big puppy, and a loyal guard wolf. After all, dogs are a man's best friend, so why couldn't a disproportionate wolf be the god's best friend? I don't know. Let me know down in the comments if you think that events would have changed if Fenrir had been treated any differently. If I have any Harry Potter fans, or Potterheads as we're affectionately known, watching, I can imagine them wondering if Fenrir Greyback is named after the Great Wolf, and I believe that he is. He is a monstrous werewolf, and Fenrir, in myth, is a monstrous wolf. It seems too obvious for it not to be linked. If you know this is an actual fact, please let me know in the comments, as I'm quite interested by it. And that is all there really is to say about Fenrir. I find Fenrir's story incredibly interesting, and I am looking forward to researching other Norse myths and legends and seeing if Fenrir features again at any point in the future. In this myth, I mentioned the Ragnarok and the gods Odin, Vidar and Tyr, which is spelled Tyr, and I will be doing videos on them at some point soon, alongside videos on Nordic, Scandinavian and Viking culture and languages. I hope you enjoyed this video and found it informative. If you did, please like, comment or subscribe. You can also follow this channel on Twitter. There is a link to it down in the description below. If you know of any popular myths from any culture that you would like me to do a video on, please let me know. Thanks for helping keep classics alive. I will see you next time on the Mythology Manifest.